Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena. Alright, we'll try Paladin. Let's see how that goes. Oh god, it's going badly already. Eek. Okay, that happened. Here, I've got to take Seal of Light. It's an extremely critical card. The life gain and the ability to kill something for 2 mana. Both very, very helpful. This sucks. This sucks. I'm going to take the Rocketeer, I think, for some late game removal and some reach. Oh my god, this is not going well. Alright, that's a good card. Haven't seen any of those. Okay. So here we have a tough choice. This guy's obviously great. The Trog is great. The Bear even is fine. I guess it's got to be between one of these two. We'll take the Trog. It's a good, solid 4-drop. Hope to pick up some big things later. Well, here I can get a Force Tank Max, or just regular old good 2-drop. I'm going to take the Creeper because I think it's more important as a Paladin to have board presence, and the Spiders helps with that. Take Ascension over this crappy weapon. Ouch. Well, this is just an unbelievably bad pack. Thing is, I don't want Mad Bomber because it interferes with my hero ability. The Undertaker is just bad. Although I guess if I got him with the Spider, it would be a 2/2 for 1. That's it. And she sucks. Oh god. I guess we'll take the Mad Bomber because the Undertaker is just sort of unplayable, but that really sucked. Okay. Cool as the Purifier is, I'm going to grab the Sunwalker here. That's a bit too good not to take, and I have been passing on some pretty big stuff. Alright, the Quartermaster is nifty, but I think Coghammer for the cheap, i.e. less than 4 mana removal, and the ability is worth it there. Big Game Hunter would have been a choice as well. Alright, we'll take a Cult Master there. That works nicely with the hero ability. We'll take a buff card, because Paladins are all about that. Only playable card. And here I'll grab the Guardian of Kings. Okay. You know, I'm actually going to take the Infiltrator. It's just so important for Paladins to have board control early on. I think you got to pick those kinds of things up. Ooh, Fairy Dragon or the Ogre. So I've got 4 cards at 6 or higher. Yeah, I'll take an Ogre. Make it 5. Tricky choice here between the Gnome and the Stalker. The Stalker is a great 2-drop, but again, this can give me some early turn 1 plays. I'm going to grab the Gnome. Hammer of Wrath or the Mech Warper? I think we've got to take the Hammer. Another Sunwalker? Sure! Got a lot of 6s. I wish some of those were 5s, but that's fine. I'm trying to experiment a little bit here with taking a few more big game things than I'm usually accustomed to. Stormwind Knight is the best card here, but the Tinker guy, well, Gnome, shoot, that's it. That's like the only mech I have. Crud. It's really not worth it to take this, except for curve reasons. Alright, we'll take him. I think I do need to fill up my early curve a bit here. Alright, we're going to grab a Golem to go with Mr. Tinkers. And then the Antique Healbot fits into my curve, gives me some healing, which could be nice. Do I take another Hammer of Wrath? That would be my 3rd one. I think I will. I think I really need to be able to kill stuff. And I think another big dude isn't as important, because I've got tons of big dudes already. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty big dudes. Yeah, we'll take the Hammer. Alright, this is the only playable card there, so nothing to think about. Another True Silver or a 3-drop. We'll take the True Silver. I find that when I play against Paladins who have multiple True Silvers, it's really, like, not even close. Like, it's always good for them. So, the Golem is good because it gives another synergy with Mr. Tinkers and just another early drop. Seal of Light could run into trouble now that I have 3 weapons in the deck. It might end up being redundant. But because this deck just does have quite a bit of endgame, I want to make sure I can survive as much as possible. So we'll take the Seal. That could have been a mistake, though. And we'll take a Kodo here to fill the gap in the curve and get some more removal. Alright, so that deck, I'm honestly not sure if I drafted that correctly. It wasn't the greatest draft ever, but... well, okay, so it didn't have Consecration, which always sucks, but Consecration really is the only mass removal card for Paladins. So now that there have been 2 expansions, it's not that unlikely that you won't see Consecration. You just gotta deal with it. And maybe that's why Paladins have been sucking for me more than they used to, because it used to be you could pretty reliably, you know, get Consecration. Or at least more than you can now. And that would have made the Paladin's job a lot easier. I did get a lot of removal, and that might be one area where I misdrafted. Maybe I should have taken, you know, Harvest Golem instead of one of those hammers, or a big thing instead of one of those hammers. Maybe I should have taken a Harvest Golem instead of the Seal of Light. Alright, we'll do this. The Cog Hammer, you know, it might end up sucking if I don't get to keep a card on the board. It's just an overpriced... Well, no, it's not an overpriced Stormforged Axe. It's like a Stormforged Axe where you pay your money all at once. Mad Bomber is nice. It gives me something to play, and this is one of the worst cards in my deck, so it's nice to get it out of the way early. With a bit of luck, I might even kill something, but I don't even care. If I can just throw this out there and trade it for a minion, that's a victory. Hogs go ham. This reminds me of that old palindrome, go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hog, but I don't think that this has anything to do with that. I think this is just a stupid name. Okay! Also, this person is slow. They mulliganed pretty quickly, so they're not AFK, but they are taking their darn sweet time. Oh my gosh, web spinner. So it looks like Mad Bomber does have a... I really should just compute this probability exactly so that I know it, but I believe it is a 19 out of 27 chance of killing the web spinner. Hut. There it goes. Well, I take 2 damage for the privilege, but I think that's still worth it. So now he's got a beast in hand. Decent likelihood that it's a playable one. I believe it's this card right here. This one, the second one from the right, is the beast that he got. Next turn I gotta choose between Mr. Tinkers as a vanilla 3/3 or the Cog Hammer. Let's see what he plays. An Imp Master. Well, that is kind of annoying because the Imp Master pretty much answers the Divine Shield part of this quite readily. But I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to think. Do I put the Divine Shield first or do I hit first? If I hit first, Cog Hammer, kill the Imp Master. This is a 3/1 with Divine Shield, like a Scarlet Crusader. If I Cog Hammer and then hit, it'll be a 3/2 with no Divine Shield. So what's better, a 3/1 with Divine Shield or a 3/2 with none? I guess the 3/1 with Divine Shield is better. So we'll do this, this, that. And then the Imp, unfortunately, gets to kill the Divine Shield. So you know what, it was pretty much the same thing, except that if it didn't have Divine Shield, he had the option to Arcane Shot it, whereas now he has to throw the Imp at it to pop the shield. Yeah, Imp Master was a pretty good answer there. Next turn, I can make a Recruit and Sunfury Protector, or I can play Mr. Tinkers. Probably want to do the Recruit and the Protector to use up more mana. Ah, he's got a Stupid Monkey, which is a pretty good answer to this Mad Bomber. So these 4 toughness things are annoying. Well, gotta do what you gotta do. So we play the Recruit, we kill off Stupid Monkey, and he's got his turn 4 play. So here's the most vulnerable part of my deck, is turn 5, where I can't play any of my 6-drops. So anything I do play is going to be inferior. Mr. Tinkers plus a Recruit is a bit of a lame play, especially if he has Unleash the Hounds. And especially if he plays a good 4-drop here. But if I can just hang in there on turn 5, then I start dropping these things back to back, I should be okay. Okay, so now what we do is we hit Cog Hammer really good here, by the way. Glad I took that and not like a big game hunter or something. Then we play that, make a Recruit, and we waste Mr. Tinkers, but that's fine. There's only, I think, 2 mechs in this deck, so I'm not going to hold my breath. Okay, so now we can start dropping the 6-drops one at a time. And I've got 6 damage here on the board that I can use to kill just about anything he'd play. So let's see it. I think if this next turn goes well, I should be able to seal up the game with these 6-drops. Okay, there's a secret. What's the most likely secret? Hard to say, but I guess it's Explosive Trap to kill off these 2 things. So I'm not going to get into a staring contest with him. We're just going to trigger the trap. Indeed, I guessed correctly. Like I always do. And then we get to hit him in the face with Mr. Tinkers. Mr. Tinkers, hey, wake up. So, Sunwalker or Boulder Ogre is the eternal question. I'm going to grab the Ogre here. Because I want the harder hitting creature to keep the board presence while I prepare to play my other 6-drops. The problem with 6-drops is you're always limited to just 1 per turn. So I want to make sure I have the highest chance possible. Now, the Ogre maybe is a bit more vulnerable to removal because it doesn't have the shield. But I want this harder hitting factor so that I can play the Sunwalkers with relative peace. It's a Chillwind Yeti basically with Divine Shield. The taunt isn't that important right now. So I'm paying 2 mana for Divine Shield, which isn't that great. Maybe just regular old Chillwind Yeti would have been better. But It's not what I was offered, so I took it, and now, as long as he doesn't do anything crazy, we should be fine. There's a multi-shot, leaving us with 4 health. A bit difficult to kill this off. In fact, impossible with only 2 mana, if I'm not mistaken. Young Dragonhawk, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so here, we'll just keep it simple. And think, do I want to kill this hawk? I think I actually do, even though it means sacrificing 6 damage. The reason is simply I don't want him to be able to get off a kill command with that hawk on the table. And I don't want him to buff it and do something wacky. So it would have sucked if he'd like played Owl, silence this, buff hawk. I could potentially have been burned down with that Wind Fury. So no reason to, you know, be loose and fast. Alright, I got a couple of ways that I could deal with this Sunwalker. I could pop the shields. 2 Tauren popping shields. And then I could throw the Ogre at the Sunwalker. I don't particularly want to play True Silver Champion. I'd rather just play the other Sunwalker that I have. I could throw the Infiltrator at it, and then I'd keep the Divine Shield. The problem is, then I'd have 2 Sunwalkers on the table, and a Recruit. If he has a Deadly Shot, he'd have a 2/3 chance of killing off a Sunwalker with Divine Shield. So why don't we just pop the shields this way, kill it off this way, play Sunwalker, hit his big fat face, and then I think actually the Spider is worth it over the Recruit, so I'm going to do that. So now I'm pretty safe against Deadly Shot, pretty safe against the Hounds. If he played Hounds, Kill Command, Hunter's Mark, I guess I could be in trouble, but he seems to just have nothing. He's really had no 4-drops of any kind. He's been playing 3-drops the entire game. I think this person might have misdrafted. Let's see if I can win. 4, 8, 10, 11, 15, 18. No, can't win. So let's just keep it simple. We're gonna go up a card here. Okay, we'll go up another card. Gnome, very nice. We'll kill off the wolf. No need to be greedy, I don't think. And then hit him for 9 damage. Bonkety, bonkety, blonkety. So now I've got 8, 10, 11, 15, 17 damage. I'm threatening lethal. And I have an overwhelming board. Really don't know what he could play that would save him other than Deathwing, but he was a mana shy from that. Maxna is a legendary, but he dies. Badink, dink, schmink, think, and Humperdinck. Alright, that was a good game, but I think the opponent really misdrafted the deck, or had just a terrible draft, because he never played anything solid. He never played any 4s or any 5s. He was always playing undercosted. He's always playing creatures whose mana cost was below what it should have been. He had some removal. There was a trap, explosive trap, and a multi-shot. And also he got unlucky that his web spinner was in his opening hand and then got killed by the Mad Bomber. Was that my Exna? That was what he got off of web spinner, wasn't it? Yeah, because he never played any other beasts. That must have been it. No, wait, it could have been the stupid monkey. I didn't pay close enough attention. All right, Jimbo the Paladin is our opponent here. We have a Seal of Light for some early removal and a Coghammer for some more early removal. Honestly, with this deck's big hump of 6 drops, I don't mind just keeping hands full of removal. The accompanying cards are a bit on the sad side here. This Cult Master could easily be worthless. Yeah! Well, Seal of Light does not kill Mr. Chow, but next turn I could coin into an Exorcist, which would be a 3/4, because this does have a Death Rattle. So that might be my plan, although unfortunately, it's a little bit awkward, because he's got 2 creatures on the table, so I'm already on the back foot. And yeah, I think I need to play this, because if this is allowed to go, I'm going to be in trouble. So he can't play any of his 4-drops yet. This thing looks to trade with his 2 creatures. Alright, he makes a Recruit, which is good. That's better than a 3-drop. And he sits tight, which makes perfect sense. Okay, I can't play my cards either. Or my creatures either, my 4-drops. So the question again is, do I put the Divine Shield on first or second? I don't think it actually matters. I think it does, though. Hang on a minute. So if I put the Divine Shield on second, then he can pop the shield and throw the creature at it. Whereas if I put the Divine Shield on first, he actually doesn't have enough damage to kill. Wait, what am I talking about? The Coghammer kills the Recruit. Okay, so Coghammer kills the Recruit. Divine Shield on first. I have a 3/4, no Divine Shield. Divine Shield on second. I have a 3/2 with Divine Shield. I think it's really pretty much the same thing. But if it's a 3/2 with Divine Shield, then like a buff card, like a Dark Iron Dwarf won't do it. Okay, so we're going to do that second. So I'm going to do this first. On the Coghammer. And I'm going to kill the Recruit. So I kept the Zombie Chow alive. It's not very likely this thing is that I'm going to actually get to like heal more off of it. But I figured I might as well leave this thing alive. So I can maybe take some more damage. I might take some more damage off of, you know, Coghammer, I suppose. Or Seal of Light if he doesn't use the Zombie Chow this turn. So I think that was a reasonable choice. Now the problem is that this Cult Master is just terrible. So Hammer of Wrath has got to be my hope that I can actually use it profitably against his 4-drop, which is possible because I have a weapon for the remaining damage. I could also recruit Seal of Light to kill something. True Silver Champion. So it's a good thing I put the Divine Shield on second. Had I put it on first, the True Silver would have killed this, and then he would have actually kept Zombie Chow around. Problem now is I got nothing to do because he just killed my thing instead of playing something. Can I get a playable Trog? Oh, fuck. That's terrible. Well, shoot. Yep, that sucks. Nothing. I got nothing. Just terrible. I couldn't even put the True Silver in hand because that would have thrown the Coghammer away. That seemed like a waste. Maybe that would have been the better play. I don't know. Freaking Cult Master. Alright, well next turn I could do some wacky stuff. I could play the Cult Master, run this Recruit into something, get a card, and put a Hand of Protection on the Cult Master. I don't like that. Oh no! That's terrible. Wow, that's just the worst thing ever. Well, good thing I didn't put True Silver on, I guess. So, Kodo to kill the Recruit, worth it? Kodo dies to weapon plus ooze, then I get to keep the Recruit around. One option. Okay, I could play Cult Master, a Hand of Protection on the Cult Master, put the Recruit against his Recruit, get a card, then the ooze plus the weapon kills the Cult Master. I think that's actually what I'm going to go for. The reason simply is that I want to use up this Cult Master. I have a feeling with this hand that I have and no minions, it's going to be unlikely I'm ever going to get to use the Cult Master. So this way, at least I get a card out of the deal. And I get to use Hand of Protection, which is another bad card. So right now it's a bit of a tenuous position. I'd say my opponent probably has the advantage, but I could deal up to 6 damage with this combo here, so that could be helpful. I got some removal here. I could have Hammer of Wrath, I guessed, the ooze. I just left him have a Recruit. And then I would have gotten Clockwork Gnome, but I didn't know that. So, I don't know. Clockwork Gnome would be decent if I drew Mr. Tinkers, because then I could play them both for 4 mana, get a 4/4 and a spare part. Kodo is standing by to kill a Recruit, or maybe something better if he wants to play a Gurubashi Berserker here and lose the game. That would be great. Always that chance. Always that chance. Jimbo. Alright, this is a very tense moment. Is he just going to throw the ooze? And that, if he does, that means Hand of Protection basically killed the ooze, which is a fine use of it. What I could do here is just play a stalling game until I get my 6 drops and hope that this stuff and this stuff and this stuff is good enough, and even the Kodo is good enough to keep his board clear. Alright, so that's that. Cult Master did its job, got me a card, used up his weapon tick. Now he's got the full 6 mana to play Teacher. That sucks, because it doesn't die to Kodo, and it doesn't die to True Silver. I don't have a Recruit out. It also doesn't die to Hammer. I could do Hammer plus Seal of Light, I suppose. Shoot, that was a really annoying play. I don't want to let him have this, because if he gets all these Recruits out. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to play the Kodo. And the Gnome. I'm just going to have to gamble. He doesn't have spells to play. He's got 6 cards to my 7. Soon to be still 7, because the Gnome gives me a spare part. Hopefully that spare part actually helps. And I just have to hope he doesn't have that many spells. Something good. Yeah, this could be good. It's better than the +1 health, I think, especially with the recruits. Kodo currently stands to kill the teacher. I just really need him not to get the frickin' 1/1s, because I don't have any way whatsoever in this deck to clear out a bunch of 1/1s, except by a grinding, slow, and painful process. Alright, Reckless Rocketeer to kill the Kodo. And now, does he have anything for 1 mana? I need him not to, and he doesn't. Oh, thank goodness. So here, I could put the weapon in my hand and kill this, or I could get the card. Well, as I've gone on the record before as saying, I think it's more important to have the weapon than the card, so we're going to kill that teacher off. And I'm going to make a recruit. I think it's important to get this out. I mean, a 3/2 would have been better to have on the table, but I think, given that this has a buff, and that the recruit is good for being buffed by this and by this, it seems worth it. Okay, so the War Golem's a bit of a pain. Got a couple of different options here. I can throw the recruit at it, buffed by Blades and Cleric, it's 3 damage, and then hit it with True Silver. Drawback of that is I take 5 net damage. I could run the recruit in and then Mad Bomber. Why would I do that? That's terrible. I could Seal of Light, True Silver plus Recruit. The advantage is that it lets me play an Ogre. I think that's got to be the move, right? Yeah, even though I waste some of the healing here. I waste 1 point of healing off of the Seal and 2 points off of the True Silver. I think this is the way to go, because I get an Ogre out, and Paladins, of course, are not very good at killing these. The main problem with the Ogre is that he keeps making recruits every turn now, and I have to keep using the Ogre to kill them, or if the Ogre kills other stuff, then the recruits run rampant. But this Mad Bomber could clear off a recruit if I'm a little bit lucky. I do have this for healing, so I'm not that concerned about that, and if I can kill his stuff with this Ogre, even if I am just killing recruits every turn, I can start to maybe build up my own recruit army. I gotta remember, just because I don't have Consecration doesn't mean that he doesn't. But with an Ogre and him having this hand, I think I should be okay. Alright, that was a bit annoying, because Hammer won't quite kill that. I don't have a recruit for that extra point of damage. I could take my chances with Mad Bomber. Alright, let's think about this. So I could Bluegill Warrior Whirling Blades and kill the little Exorcist. Then I could play Mad Bomber. And then if at least one of the bombs hits the panda, Hammer of Wrath will kill off the panda. Well, if you have Mad Bomber, I think it's what you gotta do. There's also a recruit that the Mad Bomber could kill. We gotta go for it. So, Whirling Blades, kill the Exorcist, YOLO Bomber. What? Come on. Papa needs a new pair of shoes. Oh, it hit the Ogre and not the bomb, not this thing. Okay, well, here then we have to kill that with the Ogre, sadly. I'm going to make a recruit and pass the turn. I'm really hoping he doesn't have a Consecration, because that would catch him right back up. He'd have 6 mana with 3 cards to my 3 cards and no good minions to play. He just top-decked. Please don't be Consecration. And it's not Consecration. I do have a recruit for killing it off. Mad Bomber can kill that off. Okay, this is looking okay. Actually, the Hammer of Wrath can kill this off. Alright, let's think about this. Recruit runs in there, Mad Bomber there, Shattered Sun Cleric to do that. Okay, that's it. So we're gonna Hammer of Wrath. Go up a card. Sunwalker. So, okay. The original plan was Recruit to pop the shield, Mad Bomber to kill this thing, Shattered Sun Cleric to buff the Ogre so I can kill the Recruit without dying, and then make a Recruit myself. I now have the option of playing Sunwalker, which holds up against the Recruit and protects the Ogre. I'm going to go for it. I know the rule is don't let Paladins keep creatures, but he only has 2 cards, so it allows me to start getting some damage on his face. And I don't mind using a Sunwalker for Recruit mopping up duty. So he needs to have very, very good cards. Deathwing would probably win him the game, actually, but luckily it's a legendary, and most of the time people are not going to have it. So he makes a recruit. He makes a crappy card. It's not a bad card in general. I just mean in the context of this particular situation, this is not good because it's very weak. Does he have anything else? What? 6 mana. Probably, if he's playing this, he should have more stuff that he could play. Is he worried about a Consecration? I don't know why. It's just a recruit, and this thing lives through it. I've got to say, I'm really happy with all those Hammers of Wrath. The drafting process left me wondering if maybe I should have taken one fewer of those, but I'm pretty content. And you gotta admit that is very lucky to have that many Hammer of Wraths. Again, there's a 4 toughness thing that doesn't die to the hammer, speaking of which, and I don't have a recruit out to deal the last point of damage, so I gotta decide how to deal with that. And I think, well, I could use the cleric to buff this, hit that, stay at 1 health, then the recruit kills it. That just doesn't seem right at all.
Let me think.
I could Hammer of Wrath it anyway just to see what the hell happens. The tempting thing about Hammer of Wrath is I know I've got other good cards here that are better than these, so I could try to get a good card.
Let me think.
You know what? Screw it. We're just going to kill this thing with the Ogre. The Ogre's done its job, I think. I need to start making these recruits. I need to get a creature down. What do I buff with the Cleric is the question. I think I'll just buff this thing because it's... This will put it out of True Silver range. 5 health is just actually kind of hard for a Paladin in general. And if the Blessing of Kings is this, it'll be left with what? 7 minus 5, 2 health? Yeah, that'll be easy to kill. So I should be fine unless he has something really crazy here. Alright, he's got Equality. Not Consecration though. But Jink. I have a recruit to kill his recruit, so that's good. Aha, I don't have a recruit to heal his recruit anymore, but now he's out of cards, so he's pretty screwed. Alright, let's hammer it up. Oh, can't quite play that. Oh, this is a mech. Whoops, I totally forgot that was a mech. I actually wasn't even considering that at all. Thank you, glowing yellow card, for compensating for my bad play. Alright, we're going to use Whirling Blades again. That was fortunate. And as an extra bonus, which I'm sure is very maddening for the opponent, I get to make another recruit. So as long as in a Paladin versus Paladin match you can make a recruit first, then you can always make sure that the board stays free of recruits. If you are in this position that I am in, which is that you cannot clear boards very easily. Alright. Spiteful Smith, can I kill him? 6, 10, 11, 14? No, can't kill him. I'm sure. Let's do it. Alright, that was pretty good. So we get to do this, and this, and that. And now we got 8, 11, 12 damage. Still not threatening lethal, but it's, I mean, it's really close to over. He's got to find a Deathwing here or he just loses. And he seems to have gotten some kind of useless removal. So... let's just throw out a bunch of crap. Hit him in his fat face. And we're threatening lethal. Even if he has Deathwing now, the Golem pops back and gets him down to 1 health. So now he's in real trouble. That's definitely not going to save him. And that's not going to save him, so well played. Alright, Jimbo the Paladin goes down. Those were some longish games. It's down to 8 cards in the deck, but that second game, past a certain point, it was pretty much impossible for me to lose. And the first game, the Hunter didn't put up much of a fight either. So temporarily, I'm glad that I took Paladin off the shit list to give him a whirl, because I did have a couple of daily quests with Paladin. It was nice to take those out without having to go into the ranked ladder. I guess this deck's alright. I mean, those hammers are really good. I think, I must sound like the dumbest person. I'm like, oh, Hammer of Wrath, good card, duh. But it really surprised me that I was happy to have all the hammers. I thought maybe I could have used an extra minion. So opening hand, not the most inspiring. No, definitely not the most inspiring. Not second most or third most either, but gotta keep the 3-drop just in case things only get worse. We find a Seal of Light. Gotta remember this thing is a mech. I just think of it as a healing card. So it just doesn't occur to me to think of it as a mech. Got this to kill a Flame Imp if needed. Voidwalker's a good counter to Seal of Light, unfortunately. He does have an opening play, and it is a Flame Imp. So I'm not going to coin into Seal of Light, I don't think. Okay, now I am, because I have a 2-drop. If I didn't have a 2-drop, I wouldn't have done this. Now you might say, Boris, why not play Mad Bomber? That could maybe kill the Flame Imp, and that's true. But the odds are very small. I'd rather see if maybe he'll play like a 1 toughness thing on turn 2, which he very well might as a Warlock. So we've each ended up spending a card and taking 3 damage to the face. So far, so equal. And hey, look, my Gambit pays off. Clockwork Gnome, very likely to die. Again, I believe that's 19 out of 27 odds. Let's see. Nope. Ah, okay. The Egalitarian Bomber works for me there. That's actually 2 times the Mad Bomber has done his thing. And the Gnome, actually, with that Death Rattle, I guess I could have hung on it for a little Exorcist. I don't know, maybe I should have. Alright, this is going to be a 3-3, which will kill the little Exorcist, because it doesn't have Death Rattle. So I'm not going to play the Exorcist here. I think it makes more sense just to blow Mr. Tinkers. That way, either my creatures can trade with the Shade, and if he just sits here with the Shade, then that's fine too. Then he just spent 3 mana playing a thing that doesn't do anything. Maybe I should have, instead of the Mad Bomber to kill the Gnome, played the Recruit. Because he wouldn't have probably traded the Gnome in for the Recruit, then I could have gotten a 3-4. But then I wouldn't have had the Mad Bomber on the table. I don't know. I think I went for the good choice now, which is better than the best option later. Alright, we got a Yeti here, which will buff the Exorcist to be a 3-4, but then it still dies to the Yeti, so I don't even know if that's actually worth it. Shucks-a-daisy. This is an awkward situation, because this thing, I mean, it does live against the Yeti, I suppose, but he can run both of these. Oh, God, this sucks. To play this, and then my stuff is just going to get, he can just ignore this and then just murder my stuff. Oh, fuck. Are we in racing mode, or am I going to have to try to go for the burnout victory here? I think I am. When you're behind, you gotta race. Ka-chink, chunk, ka-chunk. Now this deck isn't exactly what you'd call an optimized burn deck, but I think it's my best bet here. He just dropped some good stuff, and I didn't quite have the right 3 drops to deal with it. Oh, that's bad. That is bad. That is a prelude to bad things. Okay. Nothing dies to the Kodo, but a lot of my stuff dies to just the Pyromancer. He can now kill this. Okay, the Shade, I guess, will die to one of these things, but he can use the Yeti to kill something. This thing is still not big enough. Wow, I'm just getting absolutely manhandled here. Oh, he decides to race. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Why would you, when you're at 15 health, decide to not kill your opponent's creatures? And then life tap. Okay. I guess I'll take what I can get. So he does do that trade, which is weird. I don't know why he wouldn't have killed something and kept a creature. I don't understand. Okay, so anyway, that happened. And now, I think I gotta pop the Exorcist and make a Recruit. And I just gotta keep going for it. I know the Pyromancer's still out there and can kill my Recruit and whatever, but I think I just have to go for it. So I've got True Silver Champion in here. That would be 8 more damage if he doesn't have Life Gain or Taunt. Got 2 of those. I got Hammers of Wrath times 3, which can deal some more damage. I've got this, which is annoying to deal with. Doomguard. Okay, that's a problem, because I don't have any good answers to Doomguard in this deck. He can now clear my entire board. And the Pyromancer at least has to die, but the Yeti gets to live. Kodo, still not useful. This is actually an interesting turn, this Doomguard, because he's in a bit of a vulnerable spot. Sunwalker trades with both of his minions here, so he has to come up with removal. He threw away 2 Floating Watchers with the Doomguard, which means if he was holding on to removal, he got lucky and didn't lose any of it. But if he doesn't have removal for this, all of a sudden I can start to fight fair. Alright, the Tron will die to the Kodo, so I'm not that concerned, unless he plays another 2 or less toughness thing. Nope. So now I actually, if he doesn't trade these involuntarily, all of a sudden, despite thinking I had to race, I can actually instead kill the Noyotron. And then, I mean, I have my choice here. I could either go for his face and just trying to finish this off, but I don't see why I need to do that. Why don't I just kill the Doomguard and make a Recruit? I mean, the card advantage situation is ridiculous here. I have healing, so the health is not an issue. This 4/5 trades admirably with these creatures. He didn't have removal last turn, so if he doesn't have removal off of his top deck, I just win. I don't even know how this happened. I guess it was the Doom Guard. The Doom Guard throwing away 2 of his own cards and then getting popped by a shield after killing a creature. Suddenly, I found myself ahead on cards and on the board, which I was really not expecting. Alright, the wolf is a bit too little, a bit too late, because of course it would have helped the Yeti kill my Sunwalker, but it was too late. Wolf Rider. Actually, the wolf does help him now, because now the Yeti kills my Kodo, which it previously did not. Does he have a Mortal Coil here? No, he has a Junkosaurus Rex. Okay, great. So now I got a couple of options. I think we're just going to keep it simple. Let's take the Cog Hammer out for a spin. We'll use the Divine Shield to kill off the Yeti. See what spare part I get. Stealth, interesting. I could use that with the Cult Master, I suppose. We'll kill off that thing. And I could play the Golem and a Recruit. And I think I will do that just because the more creatures I have on the board, the better for the fact that I have a Cult Master. He could still come back and win this if these cards are good. I did sort of start playing pretty passively instead of going for his face, but I judged that it was better to play a bit passively because I had all of a sudden the board advantage and the card advantage. Knife Juggler has a 50-50 chance of killing off my stuff. And the taunt is good for him too because it survives the Cog Hammer. Luckily the Knife Juggler whiffed, so he killed my stuff the hard way. Hammer of Wrath wouldn't be the worst thing in the world right now. It would kill this. Alright, doesn't happen. I actually can't even kill this Farseer. So let's see, he hits me for 4, plus 3 is 7. If he puts Power Overwhelming on it, he hits me for 12, 15. I think I should still live. It would be pretty unlikely for me to die here. So I don't want to play the heal bot, is what I'm trying to say. Alright. Do I take extra damage from this, or do I let the Golem die? I'm not going to play the Ogre. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to spare myself some health and play Cult Master to get the card off of the Golem. See if I can get a Hammer of Wrath. Hey! That's great. So we're going to Hammer of Wrath this thing. That makes sure I'm safe. And I will Cloak Field the Cult Master, because why not? And now I'm in pretty good shape. I got 4 damage, 6 damage. If I get Hammer of Wrath, I win. Or True Silver, I win as well. Or Seal of Light. Decent number of wins here. I think he's probably going to end up life tapping just out of desperation. Yeah, so now this is definitely lethal if he doesn't have life gain or taunt. Pyromancer will kill off the damaged Golem. Actually, the Knife Juggler killed it, so I get a card off a Cult Master. That's fine as well. Does he have something to stop the lethal right now? Oh, he has a... Does he have a spare part? Is that what this last card is, a spare part? Because of the Mechanical Yeti? Oh, I can't remember. Well, anyway, we win. That was a really bizarre game. I think I misanalyzed it, because I thought I was totally screwed after he played that Yeti. I thought there was just no way I could get anything to stick on the board. But I guess the Exorcist bought me a little bit of time. Then he played Doomguard and threw away 2 pretty big creatures, the Floating Watchers. And then I had the Sunwalker trade with his Doomguard when he had no removal. So it was good that he didn't have any removal. He also did screw up that one turn where he hit me in the face with his Yeti instead of killing off a creature with his Mechanical Yeti. I think that might have swung the tide, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so we're up to 3 wins. And we have time for one more game. 4 games per video. If the video is about 45 minutes long, that means that each game is about, well, 45 to 50 minutes, so the game is about 12 minutes apiece. So a bit longer games than I'm used to here. Mercury Envy. Do you keep the True Silver? I think I'm going to mulligan it, because one logic is you keep the True Silver because you've got things to play, but the other logic is if you got things to play, you might as well mulligan to see if you can get even more things to play. And you don't get your hand clogged with removal. Alright, so let's see if he has a Mad Bomber. It would only be fair for me to get madly bombed. No, he's got a Robocop. Is he going to give it a health? Okay, that makes sense. So it survives against the Infiltrator. It also survives Seal of Light. And the Bluegill Warrior. Well, I'm going to make a Recruit then. Now he can shapeshift to kill the Recruit, but then he's not making any progress. And then I'll play a 3-3 to kill his 2-3, hopefully. He will have turn 4, of course, to respond. Alright, so he does, in fact, waste his third turn just shapeshifting. Not waste, but, you know, commit, shall we say. Coghammer, very interesting. So I could actually kill this thing, and this thing would live. It would end up as a 2-1 with taunt. He could shapeshift again to kill it. Or I could play a 3-3. You know what, let's just clear the board. Damn, that Coghammer is pretty slick, I gotta say. So he can shapeshift to kill this, but then he's spending half his mana to do that, and then I, meanwhile, have a weapon in hand, so I'd say I'd be ahead in that case. I guess Keeper of the Grove would be a good card. It would let him kill the creature. Ah, the Lost Hall Strider. Innervate, shapeshift. So he's using Innervate as a Moonfire, which is, on the one hand, a use for Innervate, which sometimes does not happen. On the other hand, it's, you know, Innervate could have done something better, perhaps. Okay, well, I can use the Bluegill Warrior plus the Coghammer to kill this, or Seal of Light plus the Coghammer to kill this. I think, what is better? That's actually kind of hard to say what I would rather hang on to in my hand. Alright, I'm going to trust my instincts and do the Seal of Light, though I'm not 100% sure I'm making the right call. And do I care about the extra health and power versus just a reinforcement? I'm just going to make a reinforcement here. I think that I might as well go for the extra card here. What are we both going to get? A card. Well, that's nice. And he shapeshifts to kill us off. I guess it really could have been a whole lot worse. So I can throw away the last tick of the Coghammer and kill the Grove Tender. It's definitely an option. I could play Mr. Tinkers. I could do the Bluegill Warrior plus the Coghammer to kill this, and then play Mr. Tinkers. Now the problem with that is, this Antique Healbot, had I played it and then Mr. Tinkers, I could have gotten a spare part. But you know what? I think a good option now is better than the best option later. This gives me a body on the board. And it clears his board. He's got 6 cards to my 6 plus a coin. I've got 2 weapons. These weapons could actually be a problem here. I might regret not having a golem, because if he does have giant stuff to play, then the weapons would be a bit weak. Alright, well, that happens to be a 6-drop. The first iteration of which dies to my weapon. So let's see what he gets. Hopefully nothing good. He gets the Soul Priest, which is one of the better things you can get. Anytime you get a 3-5 out of the deal, that's really good. So, shit. I guess I'll make a Recruit and hit him in his face. Crap. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. Alright, so there's a Claw Shapeshift to kill off Mr. Tinkers. That means, however, this Recruit plus the weapon is threatening to kill the Soul Priest. So does he have an answer for the Recruit? Some kind of buff or a heal for this guy? Well, kind of. He can kill the Recruit with the Soul Priest, so this takes the damage, and then the Sen'jin stops the True Silver from finishing the job. Well played, sir. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just play the Guardian of Kings. I could play the Ogre, but the Guardian has like 2 less stats than the Ogre, but it shouldn't really matter that much right now. It's good enough to kill a Sen'jin, and I'm spending all of my mana, which I think is worthwhile. So I could play, for example, Ogre and give it Taunt next turn. Oh, shit. Well, that is a pretty good Mark of the Wild. So it kills this if he's going to shapeshift, which of course he is. I don't have any hammers to finish, or I don't have any consecrations to finish this off. But if I can get a hammer, that would be great, because if I hammer this, I could True Silver this, and then I'd be in go-okay shape. He passes the turn, so he must have some really expensive. He must have some really expensive minions back there.
For justice.
Do I use the Reckless Rocketeer to deal 2 damage? That seems terrible. No, we're gonna just kill this off. Play the Ogre. Play this on for a Protector. Do I coin for a Gnome? I think I'm gonna do it. The coin was getting a little bit stale in my hand. This is a very tense situation. I'd give him the lead just because I figure he's got to have some giant stuff back there. Otherwise, I can't explain his last turn at 8 mana, only spending 4 of it, then passing. Alright, he gets rid of the taunt, which allows the Soul Priest to go to town. Hopefully, though, that means I get to keep my 6/7. That would be nice. Alright, that should die to the Ogre. So he uses the Soul Priest to kill the Sunfury Protector. The Ogre kills this, stays with 3 health. Then I got this Owl, which is annoying. I'd have to use True Silver to kill that. Oh, +1 health could actually be useful. Hand of Protection. Let's see. I think Hand of Protection is the move. This is basically like a heal 4 for that Ogre. And while that's not great for a mana, I think it's worth doing. So we'll kill that off. We'll kill that off finally. Play a Recruit. And I'm actually going to put the plating on the Recruit so that it doesn't die to Shapeshift. This way I'm trying to trade the Recruit with the Owl. He's got a bit of a card lead, but I have a 6/7, so hopefully that compensates. The problem is all he needs to do is drop 1 Iron Bark, and then my Ogre is screwed. Alright, he draws a card, so that's a wash. About the same number of cards drawn. I don't really have any card draw in this deck other than the Cult Master, which is not likely to see any use now. Tense situation here. He's gonna Starfall and throw the Owl at it. So if I'd put the health on this, it could have actually forced him to have to shapeshift it. As it is, he gets to shapeshift the Recruit and kill it off in 2 installments. He makes the right call here after some hesitation. Definitely worth it to lose an armor to bring this closer to death. Hammer of Wrath. Oh god, well, I'm not going to hammer his face just to draw a card. However, I'm not going to use the True Silver on his face either. I'm going to let that sit because that could very well be useful for killing a creature. Swipe or a second Starfall clears my board. I just have to hope he doesn't have that. I still have like 2 Sunwalkers in here or something. Druid of the Claw is not swipe. Jesus! The amount of times people have actually managed to do this as druids against me is remarkable. Okay, so do we go for the throat here? I could buff 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could buff one of these Recruits, throw everything at the druid, and hammer it. That leaves me with 9 damage, taking him down to 6 health. Well, I think either way I'm going to hammer this Druid of the Claw. Well, I could throw these 2 guys at it, then Hammer of Wrath plus a True Silver kills the Druid of the Fang. And then, what do I still have? I still have a Recruit, and then I could also, I could buff this up, so I'd have a 2/2, a 3/2, and a 1/1. Oh man, maybe that's better because it's safer. Let's think. Hammer this. Buff one of these guys. Throw everything at his face. I don't know. I don't have the finishing damage though. So I'm gonna hammer this and see what happens. Senjin, okay.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Actually, I don't think that's what I said I was gonna do, was it? This is a little bit different. But, okay, hope I didn't screw that up. So again, everything dies to Starfall or Swipe. If he ever has a Swipe, I'm probably gonna lose this game. We're at equal health. I have this nice board, but it all dies to Swipe. So let's see if he has either a big Taunter, which would screw me up, or a Swipe, or a board clear, which would screw me up. Neutron is actually annoying, but I can use a recruit plus the cleric to kill it, so that's not the worst thing that could have happened. And these spiders are at this point a bit irrelevant. So what is this last card? If it's a 4-drop like a Yeti, I could easily lose. It is Jeeves. Aha. Well, that really changes the nature of the game. So now card advantage becomes a bit of an ephemeral thing. And we both need to try to spend as many cards as possible. I could try to kill Jeeves, but there's not really much point in it. Let's just do this, this. Pop the shield, kill this off, and hit him in his face. I really have no idea whether Jeeves benefits me or him more. So he has to spend at least 2 cards to get 1 card. If he can spend 3 cards, he'll get 2. I doubt he could spend all 4. Roman Champion's pretty solid. Pretty scary as well. Maybe I should have just raced him out when I had the chance. He can pop the shield very easily because he's going to have spiders on the table. And then the Storm Champion can kill the Sunwalker. This is getting scary. He's going to shapeshift, which is a bit bold because he's taking some damage doing that. Can I actually kill him now? He's got 10 health, 3, 6, 7. Oh my god, it's 10 health on the nose unless he does something. Always look for the win, kids. Always look for the win. I think he made the best of it, but Hammer of Wrath is a pretty good card. Okay. So we win. We had some more damage here if we needed it. And that is that. So a bit of a long video, but I was at like 38 minutes when I started that last game, and it ended up going to 51, so beg your pardon. But anyway, Paladin makes a nice resurgence from the shit list. So thanks for watching. Please like the video and or subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon with some more Hearthstone. Take care, everybody.